Tomorrow probably is one of the most, if not the most important election in your lifetime. Oh, I know that's been said 1,000 times, but tomorrow it really is. It is really a choice for America tomorrow between capitalism and socialism, freedom and not to be free. If I could take you back for a moment to 1976 when my father lost the nomination to his party. We were in Kansas City, and my father came down to speak to the nation and, of course, speak to those people gathered at the convention. And he didn't know what he was going to say. He did not prepare any remarks at all. And as he was walking down from the booth, he said to Nancy, "I haven't prepared anything." And Nancy put her hand on his arm and said, "Oh, honey, you'll think of something." And what did he say to us that night? He talked about bold colors, the difference between their party, the Democrats, and the Republicans, the speech you had just heard from Gerald Ford, and what we were facing in the future if we did not vote Republican in that election. Much like what he said back in the 1960s when he gave that great speech, A Time for Choosing. He talked about a rendezvous with destiny. Well, we're here, folks. We are here. But what else did my father talk about that night? He talked about being asked to write a letter, to be put into a time capsule, to be opened on the 300th anniversary of the United States of America. He said, what a daunting task, to write a letter to a people who would know everything about us, but we would know nothing of them. He said, what do I write about? Do I write about nuclear proliferation, knowing they'll know if in fact we used those nasty weapons? He said, as I was driving up the coast of my ranch in Santa Ynez, with the Santa Ynez Mountains on my right and the ocean on my left, I thought maybe I should write about freedom. But then again, won't those who live on the 300th anniversary of our nation know, in fact, if we made the right decision? Because if we do not make the right decision today, we may very well not enjoy the freedoms that, in fact, we have at this very moment. And so he wrote a letter about freedoms, and he put it into that time capsule. And you know something? I want people to have the freedom to open up that time capsule on the 300th anniversary of this nation to find out what it is my father wrote into it. This election is about those freedoms. Can you agree with me about freedoms we have lost in the last 4 years? Every day, every week, every month, every year, since Barack Obama has become the President of the United States of America? And how many more freedoms are we going to lose if, in fact, we re-elect him tomorrow? I'm concerned about that. And you should be concerned about that also. So as you're sitting there thinking about making up your mind who you're going to vote for, look at the last 4 years. Look where we have been. And look where Barack Obama wants to take us. And look at a man of success in Mitt Romney and what he has done. I want people to have the freedom to open up that time capsule. And let me make a challenge to you. I want you, after looking at this video, I want you to start your own time capsule tonight or tomorrow morning. And I want you to write down on a piece of paper what you are doing to ensure freedom for your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren in the future. What you are doing today. You all say you want to be like Ronald Reagan. You don't have to ask what would Ronald Reagan do. I could tell you what he did. So why don't you do what he did and not ask what would he do? So write a letter, write a note, put it into a time capsule and write down what you did today and tomorrow to ensure your future generations have the same freedoms that you enjoy today. And then challenge that generation to do the same, because if you don't, our rendezvous with destiny may come to a tragic and terrible end. It's up to you, America. Tomorrow is Judgment Day. I'm Mike Reagan.